Oracle is not just a software company. Oracle is the result of a personal war. A man fighting poverty, a rebellious mind challenging untouchable structures, and an all-out battle against giants who thought they were invincible. IBM, Microsoft, and the old system of technology itself. Larry Ellison was neither a university genius nor a Silicon Valley trust fund kid. He was an orphan, a dropout, and desperately hungry for power. And business history has shown there is nothing more dangerous than someone with nothing to lose and a dream of domination. In 1977, 3 programmers, a tiny budget, and ambitions that didn't seem rational. Larry Ellison, along with Bob Miner and Ed Oates, founded a company called Software Development Laboratories, which the world would later know as Oracle. If you had to capture Ellison in a single image, he was the tough samurai of Silicon Valley. If you competed with him, be ready to get crushed. Where did Oracle's idea come from? From a boring academic IBM paper about relational databases. A revolutionary idea that IBM itself didn't dare to commercialize. Everyone said it was just theory. There's no market. Customers won't understand. But Ellison said, if IBM is afraid of it, it's gold. He took the idea without permission, without a contract, and turned it into a product. He named it Oracle, which means the one who knows all the answers. This wasn't just a name. It was a declaration of war. The early versions of Oracle ran on machines that even today a calculator would outpower. Just 128 kilobytes of RAM. But this simple software changed how the world stored and managed data. Banks, governments, telecommunications, then online stores and payment systems. Oracle slowly became the invisible backbone of the digital economy. Unseen, but if it stops, everything collapses. In its early years, Oracle had a major problem. The product wasn't complete, but it had a deadly advantage: ruthless salespeople. Oracle sold software that wasn't ready yet, features that weren't coded yet, and a future that didn't exist yet. Many called it a scam, but the harsh truth of business was Oracle sold first and built later, and that kept the company alive. Here the first unspoken law of Oracle was born. If you wait for perfection, you die. In the 1980s, Oracle exploded with growth and went public in 1986. Everything looked perfect. But in the early 1990s, reality hit. The product was flawed, sales were exaggerated, accounting was chaotic, and market trust was collapsing. In 1990, stock plummeted, revenue fell, and complaints started piling up. Larry Ellison lost nearly $800 million of his personal fortune. Analysts said, Oracle is finished. When most people ran, Ellison stood firm. He fired almost all top executives, friends, old partners, even those who helped build the company. He said, Oracle doesn't have a technology problem. Oracle has a people problem. Everything now rested on a single do-or-die product, Oracle 7. Either it succeeded or the company would die. Oracle 7 succeeded and Oracle was reborn. From this point on, Oracle's philosophy was clear. If you can't beat them, buy them. Over the years, it acquired competitors, swallowed threats, and conquered markets piece by piece. Many said Oracle killed innovation, but the result was different. Oracle became the invisible infrastructure of the world. SAP was founded in Germany in 1972 by 5 former IBM engineers with a single mission: to become the brain of large enterprises. In the 1980s and early 1990s, SAP software ran on Oracle's database. SAP did the thinking, and Oracle was the memory. The partnership was powerful, profitable, and mutually beneficial. But by the late 1990s, everything changed. Oracle moved aggressively into enterprise applications, and SAP realized its future could not depend on a rival that controlled its data. The alliance turned into a war. SAP built its own database platform, HANA, while Oracle began acquiring ERP and enterprise software companies. Partners became competitors, and every major enterprise customer turned into a battleground. The conflict eventually spilled into the courts. In 2010, Oracle won a landmark $1.3 billion verdict against a now-closed SAP subsidiary for illegal software downloading, a legal victory that cemented how far this partnership had fallen and how fierce the rivalry had become. For the first time, Oracle fell behind. While AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud exploded, Oracle clung to its traditional software. The market said Oracle had lost the future. Stocks lagged, and tech credibility took a hit. But the old pattern repeated itself once more. One of Oracle's most infamous setbacks happened in the early 1990s, when the company's aggressive sales and accounting practices nearly brought it to its knees. At that time, Oracle used a tactic called upfront marketing, where sales teams pushed customers to buy the largest possible amount of software immediately, even before the product was installed or delivered. Salespeople then booked future license sales as current revenue to boost quarterly results and their bonuses. This strategy backfired dramatically. Oracle ended up overstating revenue, had to restate its earnings twice, and faced class action lawsuits from customers because the revenue simply didn't materialize when expected. The accounting debacle became so severe that Oracle reportedly laid off about 10% of its workforce due to accounting errors, and Ellison later admitted the company had made an incredible business mistake. This crisis highlighted a harsh truth in business. Short-term hype can generate numbers, but breaches of trust and financial credibility can almost destroy a company's future. Oracle's leadership had to rebuild not just products, but credibility with customers, markets, investors, and that reset was a turning point in how the company approached growth and revenue reporting. In the mid-2020s, Oracle executed one of its most audacious strategic plays in its history by pivoting aggressively into cloud infrastructure and artificial intelligence, not just as a peripheral service, but as a core future revenue engine. The centerpiece of this strategy was signing massive multi-year infrastructure contracts with AI leaders. Most notably, a reported multi-hundred billion dollar partnership with OpenAI that has been described as one of the largest compute infrastructure commitments in the tech industry. By 2025, Oracle's contract backlog, the future revenue it has already locked in, exploded to record levels, hundreds of billions of dollars, driven by long-term cloud and AI infrastructure deals. Analysts noted this backlog increased by hundreds of % year over year, propelling Oracle stock to some of its biggest single-day gains in decades, and repositioning the company in direct competition with hyperscale cloud providers like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. This strategic pivot did two crucial things. One, it guaranteed long-term revenue visibility through contracted obligations that reach years into the future. Two, it shifted Oracle from being seen as a legacy database and enterprise software vendor to a central provider of AI and cloud infrastructure, a market many thought it had lost. Whether this gamble fully pays off or continues to face execution risks, it stands as one of Oracle's most compelling strategic reinventions in its 5-decade history. Oracle decided not just to enter the cloud, but to build a cloud for heavy data and AI. Billions of dollars in investment, massive long-term contracts, and a historic partnership with OpenAI. Today, Oracle's market value exceeds $400 billion. At one point in 2025, the company's value rose above $700 billion, and then it dropped again. It operates in governments, banks, hospitals, and critical infrastructure worldwide. But it still fluctuates, still carries risk, and still faces critics. And this is Oracle's DNA, always walking on the razor's edge. Some companies aren't loved. Some are trendy, and some aren't even likable, but without them, the world stops working. Oracle may be invisible to most people, but trust me, your life runs on it. If data were oil, Oracle would be the refinery behind the scenes. I'm Hoor, and this was the story of a company that started with a bold mistake, survived a near collapse, and bet everything on the future. A company that taught us that sometimes risk is the only way forward. Now I want to hear from you. If you were in Larry Ellison's shoes, would you sacrifice ethics for survival or fight for ethics, even if it put everything at risk? There's no easy answer, but it's the choices like these that define leaders, innovators, and the companies that change the world. If this story inspired you or made you think, smash that like button, subscribe for more real business stories, and share this with a friend who loves daring moves and true entrepreneurial drama. And trust me, in the next episode, we're diving into another brand, taking an even bigger risk, uncovering secrets, and sharing a story so bold it might just amaze you.